everybody. Welcome back. We're here with Lionel Ketchian, the founder of what we mentioned earlier, more than 70 happiness clubs around the world. He writes the Be Happy Zone for the column, of course, for the Fairfield Citizen News, and also co-hosts the Happiness Show. We're happy to have you back.
Thanks. It's good to be back.
Now, listen, we're here to talk about and kind of focus on the 6 important things for happiness. Is that right?
Right.
Shall we dive right in?
Let's do it.
Okay, Lionel, let's start with number 1. And number 1, you say, is you have to make the happiness decision?
Yes, it all starts with a decision. It's that intention that moves us forward to what we want. I mean, if you want to get married, you have to know that's what you want first. You can't say, you know, I think I'll get up today and get married. You know, it's a whole process. And Oprah is always got the wisdom on these things. She says everything begins with a decision. So if we don't make that decision, we don't have that working for us. We don't know where we are. It's like trying to find our way out of the darkness. It's knowing what we want. Most people do not really know what they want. They think they know. But it's not just what you want, it's what we all need. We need happiness.
So let's go to number 2. You say make a choice.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Happiness is a choice, and you know, it sounds so simple, doesn't it, to make a choice? Now, here's an interesting thing. Most people really don't have that choice because they're not aware of it. If you're not aware of a choice, then that choice doesn't exist for you, right?
Right.
Right. So as soon as you realize that when you have a problem, that you do have the choice to be happy, and you make yourself aware of it because you've made the decision, you're more likely to make the right choices in life. All unhappiness is making a different choice for you that's not serving you that well. So choices are very important, and the choice you are not aware of, the choice that is off the table, you don't have that choice.
But you're saying you got to make that right. You got to choose to be happy.
Correct. Always.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Look at an emphatic yes,
absolutely.
Desiree.
Yeah.
Let's go to number 3 if we can. Number 3 is be grateful.
Yeah, I think gratitude is the essence of it all. I think that it's probably 96% of happiness. If you're grateful, you cannot be unhappy. And all you got to do is count your blessings. This past weekend here in Connecticut, we had some really torrential rain and tough wind, and a lot of outages, you know, winds and storms and streams. But when we come out of it, what are we grateful for? Those people who have lost electricity over the weekend are now grateful that their lights are coming back. But are we grateful for the things we have when we have them? Most of us are not. We should realize that we can be grateful now for what we have, and if we count our blessings, we're much better off.
Let's go to number 4, Lionel. Number 4, you say, watch your thinking. And I love that one because my mom always says, so as a man thinketh, so is he. Yes,
exactly. And our thinking is important. That's where all the trouble starts. It really starts with a thought. Well, people will say, I'm just not in a good mood, or I'm you know, not feeling that great today, you know, and I'm feeling kind of unhappy. Well, we may think it's our feeling, but it all started by allowing a certain thought to enter.
You say negative thoughts, do not give them a home?
Yeah. Here's an idea. Well, I'll give you an example.
Hello?
Hello. That's a negative thought. Are you going to open the door and let it in, or are you going to say, no, thank you?
No, thank you.
Yeah. So exactly. So let the positives, you know, in, and let the negatives take a walk. And if we're not aware that it's just a thought until we manifest it in our life, once we let it in, we're going to end up thinking about it over and over and over, and why start?
Let's go to number 5. Talk with us about acceptance. What does this mean?
You know, acceptance is such a easy and difficult thing. Life is tough, really hard. And if we don't use the tool of acceptance for allowing the things we can't change, you know, it's like the Serenity Prayer. If we can't accept the things we can't change, we're just not going to be happy. So learning about acceptance is important. As bad as this past weekend was, I had attended a funeral in Long Island, unfortunately for a 5-month-old baby girl that, well, actually, she wasn't even full term. It was 5 months from conception. And, you know, during the church service, a little box was carried out. It was very sad. But the parents had tremendous faith, and they accepted the situation. They said, well, look, we don't know what God has in mind, but we're accepting what we can't change. And they had a lot of peace from that.
Wow.
So I learned that what people can't change and accept, they could live with and actually be happy with.
And that leads us to number 6, because you did exactly that. Do something for someone else.
You know, doing something for someone else really makes you feel good. I mean, we all want things for ourselves, which is important to take care of yourself and do what you need. But there's something really magnificent about doing something for others. Things that give us pleasure is great, but we don't realize that if we do something for someone else, we really not only get pleasure for ourselves, but we spread pleasure. Like, for example, I have this great umbrella with all the rain and everything, and it's a cats and dogs umbrella, and you like animals, so I'm giving you this umbrella, because you know why? I think it'll be great to share the love. I mean, you love animals. I think it's fun, and I was always wondering, should a guy really be walking around with this umbrella?
Listen, we're against the clock. Quickly, let's talk about your website, and you have some happiness clubs coming up.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so before we do that, let's take Erica's question quickly. How do you stay happy when things just aren't going in your favor or as planned? Again, that's from Erica Williams from Facebook.
Okay, Erica, I would say that what you do is you realize that your expectations can make you unhappy. So if you have mild expectations, not over the top, then you're less likely to become unhappy if you don't get what you want. So look at the simple things. Be happy for the simple things. Don't try to get your expectations out of whack, and you'll have more control over your happiness level.
Free meetings coming up. Quickly run them down, Lionel.
Next one this Thursday, actually tomorrow, at Fairfield Public Library in Fairfield. You have another one coming up in Wallingford the following week, and in Milford. And then the last one on the 31st in Madison. So you're surrounded here with lots of towns with free happiness meetings. So
we
people
love
should
that.
come.
It needs to rain.